because through the Bulgarian borders, as you said, honey from third countries are coming to the European market. And that's why we need to have common European tools, legislations in order to be able to make this complex analysis for authenticity, as you already mentioned. And now from the national point of view, we are going to the international market dynamics. So I'm giving the floor to Mr. Bernard Huvel, Executive Director and Founder of the Global Honey Integrity Council and former President of the European Professional Beekeepers Association. So the floor is yours.
Thank you very much and good morning, everyone. I really feel like a commercial beekeeper still. I also quit my company for the beekeeping part, and now we are fighting the fake honey on a global scale. And I'm speaking today for all the beekeepers around the world. And how can I do this? I traveled all the world, and I was going all the countries that you can think of around the world, also Bulgaria, whichever. Had a very good time there. And I was visiting commercial beekeepers and see how they do and what is their view on the situation on the market. I've been in South America, North America, Europe, even in China, visiting beekeepers there. And I lived Africa, but I will go there too. The situation right now for every beekeeper, commercial beekeeper in the world, be it in China, be it in South America, be it in Europe, coming from Sweden to Spain to Italy to wherever, to Romania to Bulgaria, they have a lot of honey in the stock. They cannot sell it. And if they have to sell it, it's for a ridiculous price. Ridiculous price means it is less than you can have with slave labor. It's not possible in all over the world. It's not possible to produce honey for such prices. And beekeepers going down, the companies going down quickly. We don't have the time for more 1 or 2 years. In 2 years, everything is over. We are losing right now 50, 60, 70, 80% of all the beekeepers in the world. This is the commercial beekeepers. The commercial beekeepers are a big part of beekeeping. For Germany example, we keep more than half the hives and produce more than half the honey. This is 1% of all beekeepers in Germany. 1% of all the beekeepers keep more than half. And if those 1% are closing down forever or even reducing the size, you will see a drop in the pollination, not just for agricultural crops, but also in the nature. And if you think that climate change is a big thing, you will feel it and feel the pain when all the bees are gone. This I will say you. At the same time, the market is going down. Why is this? We have here this picture from 1961. America, US was the biggest producer with 100,000 tons, and China was 50,000 tons, and everybody else has the same amount, still almost the same amount like 1960. Coming further to today, the situation changed. Everybody is more or less producing the same. So in Germany, we're producing almost the same, and everybody producing the same. Just China put up the production to almost 900%. So this is a lot. And if you see the picture here in the US, the production is going down, the imports are going up. So the demand of the market is there, but this is flooded with cheap products that cannot be honey. We know that for sure because, we went there also to China. In China, the honey is sold more to higher prices than it's exported to Europe, for example. It's ridiculous. And also you can see here China's production goes up, let's say 837%. The US lost 50%. Italy, they have very, very good professional skilled beekeepers, lost 20%. It has to do with drought, with flooding, with crop failing, with pesticides and so on. But so, yeah, they lost a lot. Spain is also producing more. Interesting, Germany is producing more. At the same time, there are the countries in Europe that are importing the most. So the biggest importers are also improving their production, which is a little bit suspicious. Italy, for example, has very good beekeepers and still have like a very low importing. Very interesting is also Belgium. So right here where we sit, Belgium imports almost the same amount like Germany, but it's just a much smaller country for less people. how can that be? That's a question. So yeah, we have to look into this, and also thanks to the work of the EU Commission and also the Olaf and everybody, we found that there is a high amount of honey being fraud. You also can look at platforms in internet. Still, you can at some Chinese platforms like Alibaba, for example. You find this fructose syrup for honey. And in the fructose syrup for honey, there is a guarantee coming with it. This is you can maybe not read it, but it say the test pass for certain laboratory tests are guaranteed. So you can buy syrup that cannot be detected by NMR, by HRMS, or all the other methods that are out there in the world. And you can have it in every quality, every texture, every color, every taste. They can deliver it. And they openly show it on the food shares all around the world. Here it's in Paris, for example, and you can see that they put even the test. This is like saying NMR on this label. It can survive NMR, the NMR test. So yeah, and this is a test that we are talking about. All these tests can be bypassed and surpassed by this syrup, highly designed syrup. And still the test comes out with, okay, it's honey, but it's not. Until today, the laboratory tests usually are chemically and physically. So they are looking into sugar profiles and all that. But honey is alive, and honey is also an organism. So it's not just sugar mixture, it's like a real living thing. And this organism, when you put something into it or remove something into it, that will change the body. And the body, the changes biologically, you can measure it with biological measurements, the changes. And this was the idea that we tried to do as beekeepers in cooperation with laboratories to get the DNA testing done. Why DNA? Because DNA is a standard today in medicine, in forensics, and everywhere else, also in the food monitoring. For example, for fish or olive oil, it's DNA used as a standard. And so this is what we try to do also. Also, there was a growing number of scientific studies coming out concerning authenticity of honey and DNA testing. So with this laboratory, Serbia and Estonia, we started doing the pioneering work. We won also some prizes here on the European level, Agriculture and Rural Inspiration Award for this, and we did the pioneering work. We also put up the database, which is now really big. Alone from Germany, we have 2,000 samples, but almost every member state, and also from South American and North American countries, we are having the data insert there. And today, in April 2026, it's accredited and has accreditation to do the authenticity testing. And yeah, but there's not just DNA that we can use to fight and see the fake honey in this market. We can also use other biological methods, which is all the omics that we have. Proteomics, for example, is a developed method by Eurofins, also another laboratory, which also can be used to show the biological differences. Okay. So we did a lot of testing in all the member states. We did a lot of media work. We worked with the laboratories. And we found that in Germany it was 80%, but in Switzerland, for example, 60% of the honeys in the supermarkets were fraud. And in Germany, 80%, up to in England was more than 90%, and also in Austria was more than 90%. Yeah, but the lowest was Switzerland with 60%, but 60% already is a very high number, distorting all the market and destroying all the producers of honest honey. We did a nice documentation about it in the German TV. Everybody who wants to see this can maybe look at this thing. It's also there. And we have also a new thing on the market. This is bee-free honey. Okay, this was now distorted. Bee-free honey is honey. It's not honey. It is honey molecules that are made by genetically modified bacteria, and the companies are sitting in the US, but also in the Netherlands. We have one company that is producing it, and they even tried to patent it in Germany, and this was fighted by the beekeepers in Germany, and we got this patent removed because you cannot say there's a bee-free honey or something that's called honey and it's just some genetically modified sugar mixture. Yeah, there's a lot of things. I went also to China to see all the syrup factories, all the honey producers, and also the things that, for example, I was in this company that is offering this syrup on this platform, and we were visiting these facilities. You can see the standards are different to the European one, but you also can see in the honey factories that they have the drums with the syrup in the backyard. So we have it all on film and video, and we were videoing on also the business negotiations, the business dinners, and also the factory tours that we did. So we have it all. This is a factory for the syrup that is NMR proof. So this is actually this facility. And what I wanted to show you here is sorry for this, it's a dimension. The dimension of this. This is not like a backyard company or something. That is a real industrial scale syrup factory for fake honey. And they were telling us, and we have it on video, that they are sending it to all honey factories in China. They're sending it to Arabia. They're sending the syrup also to Europe. No, so not just the fake honey is coming in over the border, but just also the syrup that is NMR proof and that they can be used in honey faking. So yeah, they went this, and actually this is a facility. Also, we have all the business communication, the manuals, how to mix the honey and how much percentage. 30 to 40% syrup can be mixed without any problems, always. If you have high quality honey, you can have 10% of real honey and 90% of syrup, and the laboratories cannot see it. And yeah, this is what they tell us. We also found some brands there, which is interesting. We've also found German honey in Chinese supermarkets. And we also find fake companies like GHIC from Ukraine. I have a good contacts in Ukraine because I know all the beekeepers there. And there is no company GHIC in Ukraine. So there is Ukrainian honey on the market that is not from Ukraine, of course. Yeah. Okay. At the same time, the retailers are fighting back and not really listening to us. But also some packers, like in Germany, Langnese is a very famous name in the honey industry. Never sold syrup. Now they are selling rice syrup, as you can see on the picture. Openly in other companies that were selling honey, like Alnatura also, they are selling acacia honey and the rice syrup next to each other. And I think that's coming out a little bit of what they did before, just leaving it right. We do more testing right now, so we're going around and with notaries, we're collecting samples, we're sending it to laboratories in each member state. We started in Sweden. This is what the article is about here. And in Sweden, this honey was removed because this was found to be fraud. And we make the member states now connecting to the European Commission and to European level, so we can do investigations in Europe. And we do this also now in Germany, in Italy, and in some other countries, and going to the supermarkets, buying the samples, doing the laboratory testing. You can even find with a normal method like NMR or others, HRMS, and also proteomics now, you can find this fraud and you can prove this fraud. And when we do this, we can show the fraud right now with the actual with the tools that we have right now. And also we're using sophisticated methods. The laboratories usually use this machine here, the Bruker SN400. And we have access to laboratories that have a very high sophisticated machines like the Bruker Ultrasheet 800. And that is like, I don't know how to compare it, but Ultrasheet 800 is like a microscope, where the other thing is like a normal tool or normal glasses that you have on the nose. And that's about it. So what we see, the key takeaways for today is, and my message to everybody listening to this, we have an industrial scale honey fraud. It's a critical situation, and it's an organized crime, and it's not a small crime, something going to happen on. It's killing all the bees and beekeeper families all around the world. And it's stealing the money from the beekeepers and from the bees and also from the consumers. On the consumer side, we also have to talk about health issues because syrup is not honey. everybody knows this, who buying honey, you want honey and not syrup for a reason. It changes all your microbiome in your gut. If you eat syrup or if you eat honey, that's the difference. And we don't know what the source of the syrup is. We saw some rice factory there, but it could everything else. Nobody's controlling really it. And so we don't know what it is. Beekeepers are going extinct. This is a very serious situation, and they're going extinct fast. So in 1 or 2 years, if nothing happens, we are out. We are completely out. Right now, we're going out already. So we need to go for more biological measurement, because this is something the fraudsters are not aware of, we're not aware of. And now I also have to say, we beekeepers all over the world are now fighting back, because we are really, really in trouble. And now we are globally organizing our integrity. And this is what we are now founding, the Global Honey Integrity Council. And it will be like a civil alliance, a network of values, I wrote it there, transparency guild, and so on and so on. And I have one proposal for the European Commission. Just invite the retail market, the retail supermarket owners, not so managers. Please invite the owners of the retailers here and talk. Maybe just some serious talking will help that they improve their quality management, ask more questions, do more audits. Maybe they do some biological measurements, and maybe they do listen more to our beekeepers. If you can arrange some meeting like that. That would be my proposal. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hilbert, for this so practical presentation. As I understand, we have just a few years to react. Otherwise, the real honey will be replaced by industrial produced honey. The pictures that you presented really terrible. So now